Hey viewers, my name's Cara. I'm your Tuesday host on the Pagan Perspective, and this week we're talking about possible blessings from the gods, a very specific type thereof. Before I get started, I would like to say I'm sorry I missed you last week. My car broke down and I was really busy. I was actually going to ask Tara to cover the video for me even before I got in the car because I just knew I had a really busy day ahead of me. And then my car broke down, so my entire day was delayed, so I made sure to ask her to sub for me. And she actually asked Megan to do it just because of what the topic was. And so Megan, thank you so much for subbing for me. And then 2 days later, Eric texted me that his car had broken down and he wouldn't be able to do his video. But since Megan had already subbed for me, I asked Delia to sub for Eric. So thank you so much to all of our subs for being there when we need you, which is why we have you. Thank goodness. So the topic this week is from Foxx. I won't try to say the last name, but Foxx asked us about something that's been happening to them. So let's look at the topic. I'm not sure if y'all covered this yet because I'm watching all the videos from earliest till now. Stop you right there. paganperspectivecollab.blogspot.com. That's where we have our list of all the topics that we have ever covered. It's broken up into different tabs by each year that the collab has been in operation. We are on year 5. And if you look at that, it'll tell you the basic subject of what that week was, and it's numbered year 1, week 1 would be the week that we started, which is the week of August 16th, 2009. So it's all numbered 1 to 52 throughout 5 years. And you can see the topic, and then the links of all of the videos for that week are right underneath there. So you can use the find function on your computer, Control F or Command F if you're on a Mac, to search for different keywords. And please get creative with your keywords, because if you want to know about totem animals, or I'm just picking one that I know there's multiple names for, if you type in totem animals and you don't find anything, which is not the case, you will find something. But for example, if you were to type that in and you don't find anything, don't assume that means that we didn't do it. You may just have to try other things like spirit animals or spirit guides and things like that. So try to search different things, or you can just scroll through and see what we've done. Back to the question. Every time I do any magical working, I feel a strange and strong rush of energy up my right arm, and since I can see auras, I've noticed it's different from my normal one. It's a lush, leafy green, while mine is normally a deep violet. While this is happening, I see flashes of what I believe to be Cernunnos. My wife, who has been pagan her whole life, says it's a blessing, so my question is, have you heard or seen or dealt with blessings from the gods in this manner? I can't really see auras, but I can definitely feel energy, so I've definitely had experiences of feeling energy while I'm doing magic workings, and I always attribute that to the energy of what I'm doing. You know, when I'm sending out energy, I feel it, and when I'm pulling energy back into me, I feel a tingling in my arm and things like that, and I just consider that the energy itself that I'm moving and that I'm working with. However, adding on the fact that you can see your aura and that it's a different color, and the flashes of images coming into your mind associating it with a deity, I don't know if I personally would think of it as a blessing from that god. If it were happening to me, I would definitely consider it a message. I don't know if I would jump to just that it's a blessing, but I would consider it a message. And depending on the way that I do things, I believe that energy works in a circuit throughout your body and that it goes in a certain direction. So for me, I have a projective or a sending hand and a receptive hand. I have one hand that I use to send out energy when I'm casting things, and the other hand receives energy back into me. One way I've heard of that is just, what's your dominant hand? The hand that you write with is your projective hand. It's the one that you use the most. It's dominant. It sends energy. And the other one that is, what's the opposite of dominant in this sense? Not submissive and not recessive, but the non-dominant hand is your receptive. And then people who are ambidextrous would just have to see it. And I don't know that it always goes along with what is a person's dominant or writing hand. I don't know if that's always the case, but usually to have people find out, I usually have people, try to sense their energy and just feel which direction it goes. Because to me, I can feel it moving from one hand into the other. So I work with people on that sometimes to figure it out. So anyway, I promise that was related. Since it's an energy going up your right arm, I would think, is that your sending hand or your receptive hand? Because if it's your receptive hand, that would make sense as to you receiving the energy from the deity. Or if it's your sending hand, I would think of that as the deity coming to you and helping you send. Do you see what I mean? Because if it were your receptive, you would just be receiving the energy from them, whereas if it's your sending hand, usually energy doesn't come into that hand, but it would tell me that they're helping you in your magic working. So I don't know if that's a concept that you do any work with at all as far as sending and receiving hands and the way that energy works, but that's what I would think of if it were happening to me. Like I said, I wouldn't necessarily think, oh, it's a blessing. That wouldn't be my first thought. So if it is, I would have to say, no, I don't think I've seen or heard of blessings in that manner. But then again, I have to think that I have received, and again, I don't think of them as blessings, but I guess you could. I have received what I consider approval from my deities when I'm speaking with them and working with them, in the way of things like the wind rustling my hair and then dying back down all of a sudden, or feeling a touch on my shoulder and things like that. And so it's not energy rushing up my arm and my aura changing. I don't know, I can't see the color of my aura. But so it's not that exact same thing, but I guess, I don't know. I don't know if those are blessings or if they're just acknowledgments, messages, whatever it is. But if you consider it a blessing, or if you intrinsically feel that it's a blessing, that's what it is, I think. Only you can really know. And if the question is whether we've seen or heard about this, meaning whether or not it's valid, I don't think it really matters whether we have experienced it making it valid for you. I think that it's valid, but my thinking that doesn't make it so. I think only you can really know what it is because you're the one experiencing it. But those are my thoughts about it, and if it were happening to me, that's how I would rationalize it, or that's what I would think if it were happening to me and I could see it and all of that. That's what it would mean to me. But that's just because it's me. How many times did I say me in this video in the last 20 seconds? I apologize for that, but that is my perspective. I think it's really cool that you can supplement that with being able to actually see the color so you know that it changes. I can feel changes in things and like, oh, usually it feels like that. Like usually it's a specific tingly feeling when I draw in the energy from my circle. So for example, if I were to draw in a different type of energy that felt heavier or colder, sometimes when I'm doing paranormal work, I feel colder energy or sharper energy, and just like, I don't know, all these adjectives, but I can feel the difference in energy. So I think it's cool that you can see it. That's a definite way for you to know, or at least to postulate that this is not your energy, that it is in fact coming from something else or being changed by something else. So in conclusion, which is a thing that we're taught to say in high school but taught not to do in college, and I just went back to it, I think that that's a really cool experience, and whatever it is, it's pretty cool. And I hope that it tells you something. I don't know when this was suggested. It was probably suggested a little while ago, so let us know. Is this still happening? Was this a one-time thing? Does it happen a lot? Have you gotten any other ideas or impressions of what it may mean? Come to any conclusions about it yourself? Question mark? I missed you guys last week. Next week is subs week, so I will see you after Halloweeny times and all of that. I'm going to be really busy this week. I've been really busy. I'm going to be busy. I have another job for this week as well, so I have 3 jobs this week. Look at me. I have 3 jobs this week, and I don't know yet what I'm doing for Halloween. I'm going to be working all day, so probably not much, but we'll see. And I will see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to be awesome, blessed be, and goodbye.